All right, I've got a Raypak water heater here that got the old parts cannon fired at it, and that wasn't our fault. That's just kind of what was done by unnamed others. Anyways, so what's weird about this, first of all, it's a very intermittent problem. I've finally duplicated it. This board also wasn't working, so the first thing I did was repair this circuit board. Now what we can see is the boiler has a call for heat, but it's just acting like it's in a locked out state, not proceeding with its normal sequence of operations, but it's got no trouble codes. So what is that? Well, if you look over here, we've got a call for heat, but we've got no flow. So what I'm going to do is, you see that little connector up there with the pinkish looking wires? I'm going to jump that out. That's the flow switch input. And this is hard to do. It's like a chopstick style. Alright. So, oh, come on. Oh, let's see. Oh, one-handed. This sucks. Okay. Now I got a flow. Now I'm running. Now everything's good. So you can have a good board, but if you feed in trash inputs, it's not going to do what you want it to do. So just a lesson on boards doing weird stuff. Sometimes it's because they're being told weird stuff by switches and sensors. We go over to the flow switch. Now it wasn't leaking like this, just is now. I was really messing with it. I guess all the corrosion finally let loose. So this is the problem. We are going to be replacing it, and these have a paddle that comes off of them and then just verifies flow. So we'll be doing that and get this baby back up and running. Ah, see that? That's right, you spotted it. Best jumper in the world. All right, well, the plot thickens. I got this out, and you can see how crusty it is. It's definitely bad and leaking. However, so this one is like it would work intermittently. I got in the new switch. All of a sudden can't get flow. Can't get flow. Start scratching my head, doubting the direction, turn it back and forth, blah blah blah. Try different paddles. There's your problem. Oh man. Oh gosh. What a day. Some of these machines, you dig into them just like a can of worms. All right. Let's do a bit of a recap here. So this is the old one, obviously, and the new one. And you can see how the paddle comes straight out. But on this one, the paddle is permanently at an angle because there's like a return spring or something in here that's been corroded away. So what this was doing, I'm hooked up to the normally open contacts right now, and I'm closed. That little bit of ohms is just because it's real corroded. I can't get a perfect connection. But when I put that back like that, now I'm open. So that's the way it's supposed to be, but because that return spring got corroded, the switch is just staying in that position. So here, now I've got too long of a paddle on this because obviously I was trying to figure out why I wasn't getting any flow, but you can see how that one works. And this, oh, this pump, look at this. just gone. So what I think happened was I was getting just enough flow from this to make the old flow switch make. But when we finally shut it down, it just didn't have the, obviously didn't have the guts to start back. But the way that I diagnosed this first before going through all the work of taking it off was, I read on this wire, someone was generous enough to mark the amperage, the running amperage on the pump motor. So on the motor right here, someone had written that it was 6 amps, and I was reading 4 amps. So that's what led me to believe we weren't moving water, and sure enough, not moving water.